What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 6 of our mini course of how to properly buy leads. And by properly buying leads, I mean how to actually buy them and succeed with them. Today, we're going to be talking about scripts, calling scripts, everything you need to know about calling scripts. Glenn, what is the number one thing that comes to mind when you think about scripts that the people need to know about?
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear calling scripts, it's the introduction. When you finally get someone on the phone and they say hello, that first 10 seconds is critical in my opinion. You've got the fish on the line, but you've got to set the hook, right? Like you've got to snag them right away. And I think honestly, in my opinion, when agents are failing at a high rate with any type of lead, a lot of times that's like the core issue in my opinion is what are you saying when you first get them on the phone? And before we get into what you should say, let me talk about what I think the agents that are failing, what they say a lot of times, because
Mhm.
sometimes it's just avoiding these pitfalls is the path to succeeding with insurance leads. So what not to say, hey, um, I'm a life insurance agent calling you back. I just wanted to give you a quick quote. Do you have a second? Or, hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm calling about that Medicare supplement plan. It looks like you're ready to sign up for a new one. Saying something that's just so bluntly sales that's the problem that I think a lot of people run into, where they're just trying to get straight into a quote. They're not doing anything to really set that hook to grab their attention, to make them want to understand more. What I would say, again, calling as an agent myself, I'm going to quickly reference the previous phone call or the lead piece. That's the hook. That's what I'm going to set. So if Mrs. Jones picks up the phone, I'm going to say, hey, Mrs. Jones, you got that call the other day regarding burial benefits for seniors. I'm the specialist giving you a call back. It looks like you said your favorite color was purple. Is that correct? So immediately you want them to understand that you're not just some Joe Schmo calling them out of the blue. You're calling them for a specific reason, and you want them to think like, oh, I'm supposed to be talking to this person.
Mhm.
Like in my mind, that's the psychology that's critical is, oh, I need to talk to this person. Or they're calling me for a reason. That being said, so I want to hear your perspective, Christian. When it comes to really setting that hook on that initial point of contact, what do you think agents really need to know?
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you said. You hit it right on the head. I think you want to make sure that you don't sound like a salesperson, right? Like you want to not come across like a salesperson because people have been trained since they were wee lads in our country to avoid salespeople, right? So if you call up and you sound extremely salesy, some things that you can do to sound extremely salesy, if that's your goal, don't do that. But if that's your goal, call them Mr. Last name or Mrs. Last name, right? Like refer to them as Mr. or Mrs. Last name. That will completely get people hanging up on you. Like call them their first name, So if I'm calling Mark Jones, I'm not going to call up and I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Jones, this is Christian Brindle from
Yep.
Handy Dandy Insurance. Like, no, there's a lot of agents that do that. I see it constantly. So call up and say, Mr. Jones, this is Christian, right? Like first off, time is incredibly important when you're making calls and you're putting together your scripting because you have a very finite amount of time before they hang up on, and you have to get your point across before that they can actually react to hang up on you. And so, like Glenn said, right, you want to hit the hook. You want to hit the hook and you want to have the opportunity to hit the hook. So many agents never even get a chance because they call up and they're like, Mr. Jones, this is a handy dandy, how's the weather today? Is
Right.
the sky blue? Like stay away from that shit. Um, so get to the point. Quick, quick, quick. Speed, speed, speed. I said one time that I thought you had 7 to 10 seconds in your intro.
Yeah.
And somebody actually came back who was and told me, in a private message, they're like, I think you have more like 5 or 6 seconds. And I was like, damn, I'm like, that might be true though.
It might
Um,
be.
so you just have to be quick to the point, no messing around. And I think people will ultimately have a lot more respect for you as well because you are respecting their time. You're not beating around the
Yeah.
bush. You're being quick. And people
Yeah.
actually in our society today, they like quick, they like to the point. They don't like to be kept on the phone forever and ever and ever. And the people that do, they're the people that waste your time. They're the ones that that talk your ear off and they just want somebody to talk to. You don't want those people. So, um, yeah, I mean, I would just say quick and to the point. Don't sound like a salesperson. And I think those keys are going to be vital when you're putting together your scripting.
Listening to, and what we'll do is we'll link below this video, wherever you guys are watching this. Christian actually called the Lead Heroes Turning 65 leads, which are on discount right now for over 60% off for just $17 per lead. But he actually called these leads, and listening to his approach reminded me that a lot of times it's just about keeping these people on the phone.
Yes.
Second they hang up, it's over, right? You
Mm-hmm.
you have zero opportunity to close once they hang up. But if you can get over the hump, right? That initial, maybe it's a little weird where they're like, "What is this about again? Why are you calling me? Do I even really need to talk to you?" If you can keep them on the phone and get past that, a lot of times that can be the biggest hurdle, right? Because there's so many other agents out there that will not get past that. So if you can just be the one that does, that can sometimes open up the door. So we will have a link to Christian's hour-long calling session with these turning 65 leads. I mean, I don't know what else. This is like spoon feeding a baby, in my opinion.
Yes.
Check out that other video. It's incredible. It really is. I actually, and then I actually did a reaction video
Yes.
to that video. So you can also see my live reaction as I'm going through it, listening to his calls of the turning 65 leads. Both of those videos I thought were great. We'll have both of those linked. But that is day 6 of calling scripts, what to say, what not to say when you first get on that phone with a prospect for final expense, Medicare supplement, or turning 65 leads. Again, only until the 27th of this month will you have the opportunity to purchase these at such a big discount. Please, please, please don't
Huge.
wait. It's huge. Christian, final thoughts on calling scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I think don't overthink it. Talk like a human being, talk like a person, like you're talking to another person. I think that's ultimately for me when calling. And if you go and watch that video of me calling, you might notice like the intent is very much to sound normal, relatable, matching their energy, all of those things, and just really kind of being in unison with them, but it's sounding like a person. Sounding like
Yes.
you want to, the best way I can describe it is you want to sound like somebody that they'd be like, I'd want to get a beer with that guy or girl.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I
girl.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah,
so
you're
many,
a person. Yeah, I love
you're a
that.
person, you're a person. I've had so many
Yeah.
clients over the years that I've sold policies to that they want like a personal relationship with me afterward. That's the negative of that. And
You're too
that's
friendly.
story for another video. But yeah, I mean, those would be my final thoughts. Just sound like a person.
I love it. All right, you guys, until next time, happy selling. Take advantage of this huge discount and stay tuned as we continue this 17-day, $17 leads mini course. We couldn't be more excited about this. Until next time, happy selling.